Okay, here you go, you guys. We're going to start with our, um, what do you call it? A little journal here, and we're going to make it with our notebook, and it's covered with stone paper. So this is what you should have got in your kit. You should have got the 3 aqua colors, the 2 Allegro paints, the modeling paste, the stencil, and a stencil brush, and I left you the link for the coupon, and you can get the stencils from Sean, and the ones that I thought I was going to use would be the postage stencil and Find Your True North. Now both of these I use all the time, and I think that they'll both actually go super great with the products that we're going to use in this project. And we'll see. I've never done what we're going to do today. We're doing it together, and that's the most fun about creating these online classes. So I'm just going to set this aside, and we're going to open our notebook that is covered with stone paper from Stamperia. And this is a really nice little notebook. The front and back obviously are stone paper. Excuse me, I can't tell you what that means. It's just you can't rip it, you can't tear it. So I'm guessing a comparable product would be Tyvek. And actually I'm going to try this technique with Tyvek. Also, my husband has some, and he said that he would borrow me a bit. So here I'm just going to protect the inside of my notebook and put down a paper towel, and maybe I will go like this and put that there and go ahead and cover it this way. Now, I'm hoping you like this idea for this online class. I think it's really fun to be able to get the package of the product and then have the link to this video that you are only going to be able to access in the package, which that way you can go and do this project at your leisure, so any time of the day or night. So that was my thinking. So I'm going to go ahead and use first my pine color of aqua color, and this works on non-porous, no, this works on porous surfaces. So this surface would be a porous surface. It's not going to soak in to this paper. It's going to actually dye it, stain it. So I'm just going to put some on, and I'm going to use a brush to start with. I'm not quite sure how we did it when I was in Creativation. I'm not remembering what we did there, but I'm going to try it with a brush. And of course, we're learning together. So now this product we could actually use on something like wood, um, things that are going to be non-porous surfaces. Wood and porous surfaces. I'm sorry. So this is actually going to soak in to this product. I'm not going to do a lot of lines here, but I am going to give it a quick dry, and I will try and announce when I'm going to click off. But other than that, I'm going to work this project right with you on camera, and I'm hoping that my audio is a little bit better. I'm actually using a headset, and I that the audio will be less problematic with the headset. See, I'm just learning all kinds of new things. Now, if you feel yours, if you're doing this with me, it has a great texture on there. Now this is going to be my front, and I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to do it on the back. And what I'm going to do, just because we're learning, is I'm going to use a bit of paper towel and put it on the back. And let's see what type of texture that gives us, and if we like that more or different, or if it's pretty much kind of the same. I'm feeling that right now I liked the brush, so I'm going to go back to that. And I'm just using a soft brush. Someone was asking me where I get my brushes from. Now this one's really cheap. I don't know where I got this from. It was just in my stash. But people ask me all the time where I get these ones with the white handles. And these I use in class when I do workshops, when I go to like different stores and such. And I get them from Michael's. And they're like 10 in a package for maybe $8 or $9, and then I go ahead and use a 40% off coupon, so I get them pretty darn inexpensive. So what we're kind of going for here on this piece now is this brown kind of leather aged background here. I didn't do the back, so we won't worry about that. But yeah, that brown cool background that you're seeing through the paint. So we hardly used any of this watercolor paint. So you're going to have an awful lot left for another project, excuse me, and maybe in the near future I'll come up with something so you can have a little bit of a bonus. So I'm going to go ahead and dry that again with my heat tool. And like I said, I'm not going to really quick off and take too many breaks unless we have something that the paint really needs to dry a lot. So I'm liking this. I'm going to go ahead and do my brown and just giving it a little shake to mix the product up and going right over the top. And I'm not even washing out my brush or anything. I'm just going ahead and adding another layer of color there right over the top. And there we go. Just like that, I think. Get it all nice. And I can see that yellow through the pine color. And then we've got this nice chestnut. I'm going to give it a little dry. And this is drying really fast. And really, really nice product. I think that this will be a product that we can use a lot in our mixed media art. And there's a lot in this little bottle. So look at that great texture we're getting already. How fun, huh? Yes, very fun. Oh, and I don't know, you just wait till you feel this stone paper. It is amazing. And I think that'll be something that I'll probably be purchasing when I place my next order with Stamperia. You can get just the stone paper. You don't have to get it in these notebooks. So I'm going to do the back. Go ahead and do the same bit. And now I'll have to apologize in advance in case something happens here. I have the windows open. This is Saturday, just a little bit past 12:30, and beautiful day out. Went rummage sailing this morning, and there still aren't very many rummage sales, but there are a few. I got this cool bracelet. I think it's really cool. I love daisies, and it's silver, copper, and gold. You know, not real, obviously, just generic. But for $3, I was all about it. I was super happy to get it. What else did I get? I got a really cool red leather bag, like a purse, and um, I didn't get too much. This bracelet, of course, the bag, a nice summery shirt. So I was happy with what I got. Okay, look at that, great texture, huh? Yep. I'm gonna rinse my brush out a little bit. I have water up here. I like this water holder. I'll actually show it to you because it has 3 compartments. You fill it all together, but you have water here, water here, water here, and you can rinse your brushes. And then if you want to dry your brushes, you could put them up there. But always remember, if you're using wooden handle brushes, you don't ever want to dry them like this because it'll crack this wood. You always want to dry them flat like this. Just a tip for you. All right, so that's dry on both sides. Now, what I remember doing when I was at Creativation, we took this piece and we used our aqua color here that we used in our project before. I'm actually not going to open this one. I'm going to get my other one. So I'm going to stop real quick and well, I don't need to stop. I'll just grab it. It's right behind me. And I want to show you what I did here. I organized all my sprays and I swatched them all and wrote what they are on the back, and then I have them all together. I didn't have a lot, but I did want to keep them nice and organized, and I had a couple of sprayer tops that were floating around in junk. I cleaned up all my mini misters and got those where they needed to be, so I felt pretty good with this organizational product. These are pipettes, and you just fill little bottles, or you fill your water brushes with those. So I have that all organized, and I have a video that will be out probably this week on craft room cleanup, and that will be on my blog. Just gonna go ahead and put that back so I keep my craft room nice and organized. Sometimes you get going and you can really make quite a mess, can't you? Okay, so I'm just mixing this up nice and easy, not creating too many bubbles, and I'm hoping that this will spray for me. I cleaned the nozzle when I put it away, so let's see what happens. Oh yes, it sprays, yay. Okay, so same thing. This isn't a very good sprayer, but I'm going to go ahead, dab my nozzle off here, and I'm going to go up and down with the surface here. And now it really looks wood grain, doesn't it? I think it does. I'm going to dry it. And just those 3 colors together looks very, very nice. This one's quite a bit different. I'm going to maybe use my paper towel and give it a wipe. And I'm going to do mine again because I want mine just a bit darker. Yeah, the sprayer on here isn't 100%, is it? And maybe I'm just going to let it run a little bit. See, it comes shooting out the bottom there. I like it like that, kind of running like that. Yeah, I'm going to let it run, drip down, and I'm going to let it drip both ways. Maybe help it a little with my brush. And I'm going to dry it as I have it tilted here, because I like what I'm seeing. You guys will have to let me know how you liked having this class like this instead of doing the live version. This is pretty live. I mean, I'm here. We just can't see comments back and forth. That way we didn't have the stress of having it actually work this time, or having everybody be able to be there at the same time, you know. So I thought we'd try it this way, and we'll have to see how it works. And then I have enough product to do class number 3, and we were talking about that during class number 1. And yeah, I like that texture we're seeing there. What do you think? I think yay, cool. And I'm going to do the back side, and I'm going to do it just the same way as I did the front, because I'm really liking it. I'm really liking it. It's still sticky, so I don't want to mess with it too much yet. And I'm constantly remembering which is the top. Just for when we get started here, we're going to need to know which is the top and the bottom. Okay, oh, it's still sticky. Now I'm a little afraid to turn this over and work on the other side. Let's see here. Let it cool down a little bit. Yeah, I think we'll be all right. It just needs to cool down a little bit. But look at that. Oh, yeah. That is cool texture. I'm going to do the back. Now I'm getting into it, so have to bear with me. I won't go too fast if you're trying to do it with me. I do notice that this spray, because the nozzle on mine, I don't know what the nozzle is on yours, but the nozzle on mine is kind of goes all over. But that's all right. I don't mind having inky fingers. I'm gonna go ahead and help this out a little bit up on the top here. Letting it run. And I still have enough in my bottle probably for another project. So I did 2 of the first project. One is a practice, one in the live class, and then I actually did this project front and back, and I'll have enough to work on another project. So I think a good value, and that I'm pretty happy that I'm actually using it, right? And you'll have enough from your first and second package together. So I'm going to give this a dry, and I'm going to actually sign off here while I'm drying this, and I'll be right back. I'm just going to clean up my area, and don't go nowhere. I will be right back, okay? So I'm going to dry this. Okay, we're back, and this is all dry now, front and back. Here I just used a paper towel and just kind of wiped. I wanted to see what it was going to look like as that was drying, and I don't mind it. It's fine. So now I'm going to get out my modeling paste, and this is really great stuff from Stamperia, and I'm using white, and I'm going to use my stencil. I haven't even opened it yet. And the stencil that I used when I was in Creativation was a little bit different, and maybe I can try and find it. Here it is. I got it. Okay. And it's this stencil, and I really like this stencil, but of course when I was ordering my product, it was not available. So, Industrial, SeaWorld, Deep Blue, the Chain Link, Rust, that's neat, and we can order that also. There's Antonio's, that's who I took the class from. So we can order that if we want it. So this one was available, and it's a lot thinner than this product. So we're going to have to be a little careful using it, and that's all right. Careful is fine. I'm sorry if I keep making noise. I'm adjusting my headphones here. So I'm just kind of placing this down, and it's like what part of the stencil do I want to use? Now this is totally up to you. This is your baby. I think I'm just going to do the front cover, and I will leave it up to you if you're going to do the back cover. But obviously we're going to just do the front cover for today because we don't want to do the front cover and then turn it over and mush it on the back. So let's just do the front right now. Set that aside. And on mine, I'm envisioning, I like this sailboat. I like these birds. And I like this edge a lot. And now I'm looking at my stencils that I'm going to use, and Find Your True North is something that I'm going to put on with my stencil brush and probably one of the postage. So I'm thinking about all of that when I'm going ahead and thinking about putting down my images here. Now let's go back to this one. He put some numbers here and just some lettering, and it doesn't have to be, you know, the complete part, so keep that in mind. I like these little hashtag marks. So I'm going to use my modeling paste. Now don't be afraid of this, of course. I actually have one open, so I'm not going to open this. So I'm going to get that one. Save on some of this product. I don't want to open a whole bunch more. This one wasn't open either. Oh, well, it is now, right? And it's got a little bit of liquid on there. Maybe I'll save that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my palette knife. I just had it. Here it is. And I'm going to go to town. I'm going to work right on my craft mat here. Keep it kind of flat, my book kind of flat. I'm going to open it to the middle, I think, to get it as flat as I can have it. And I'm going to work on the front. I'm going to stir this up. It's like frosting. And there's all different kinds of palette knives. Now this is a plastic one, and I have a lot of these because I use them for my classes. We've got metal ones. We've got square ones. We've got really skinny ones. It's totally your personal preference. And sometimes in class, you can even use an old gift card to spread that paste through the stencil. I'm going to use this plastic one just because I like it, and that's what I'm going to use. So here we go. Don't be afraid of it. Just do it. If you don't have it the way you want it, you can wipe it off. So don't be afraid. I'm going to do this side edge here first. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just go ahead and do it. See me going to town there? Not a problem. Look at that. I'm going to put my thing aside. I'm going to gently wipe off my stencil because this is a lot thinner than most stencils I'm used to. Sean's stencil are quite a bit thicker plastic than this. So we just have to be a little more careful. I'm going to get a baby wipe out. Everybody has baby wipes, I think. And I'm just going to wipe off this. Now you don't have to be very careful doing so. You could even leave it on there if you wanted. And why? Because we're going to cover it with paint. So it's fine. Here's my stripe. I like that. Okay, so I'm going to keep going. I'm going to put down my birds, and I like them right in the middle here. I got my modeling paste. Bring it in the camera view so you can see here. And I'm just going to do my birds, just like this. Might have a little too much on there. Get them covered good. Move your things. Gonna clean off my stencil gently. And this takes some practice. If you don't want to do it on your piece right away, go ahead and do it on a piece of cardboard, something scrap, you know. I'm going to leave those little dots on there. To me, that looks like spray coming up from the water or something. It just adds more detail. I can tell that those are birds. This one's a little smushed, but for me, I like it. I'm not going to be too crazy about it. Now, I like the water down at the bottom, and probably smart would have been to do that first down there, huh? I'm going to roll up my stencil. Put this down. And I'm going to do the water's edge. Look at that. Cool. Gonna clean that up a little bit so I don't get my book right in it. I'm gonna clean my stencil off gently with my baby wipe. I'm gonna clean both sides because it kind of gooed through the middle. Throw that away. Dry up my area. Here we go. Okay, go back to our project. I don't care for this on the back side, so I'm just going to wipe it away. You can use a little water if you need to. Okay. I don't mind that being a little smushed. Art is not perfect, so we're not going to be perfect. I want to do part of this sailboat. I'm going to dry this really quick and come back. Okay? We have time. We're in no rush, so I'll be right back. I'm just going to dry what I have down so far, okay? Okay, I'm back, and this is dry now. I just used my heat gun and dried it. Now I'm just going to do that sailboat, and I kind of want it to, what do I want to do? Do I want it to be big in that, or I think I want mine kind of coming off the edge. It's just the way I like it. I'm going to get some more of my modeling pastes, and I'm going to fill in. Oop, that did not work. So, if it does not work like I just did, I'm going to clean this off. In case you do that, this is a good learning thing. Don't be afraid. Set it aside. Get your trusty baby wipe. Don't get upset. It's fine. Just going to wipe this off quick here. Gently. Both sides. Okay. And I'm going to go back to my piece here. And I'm going to wipe it off. It's going to be fine. I'm going to align my stencil back up. And I just need to be a little more careful. So I'm loading up my, and I spilled a little here. Don't want to waste it. Loading up my palette knife. And then I'm just going to go right through. It's like you're frosting a cake. Okay. Quick lift it up. It's fine. It's perfect. This is going to be wiped up. Actually, I'm not going to waste it. This is going to be neat. Don't worry about it. It's going to be neat. So I'm going to clean up my area. I'm going to set this aside so I don't stick my hand in it. And we're going to clean up our stencil. It's important to clean your stencils right away or put them in a sink with water so that this modeling paste doesn't fill in all of these holes of your stencil. That would not be good. Okay, there we go. I'm going to set this aside again because I'm finished with it for my project, I think. Let me see. Do I need anything anywhere else? This is going to be good. I like that. I like the birds. I'm going to put a postage stamp here. Maybe I could use a little bit up here. And I'm thinking these little decorations. So let's try it again. See, we're getting lots of practice. And I'm just going to go like that. Okay, see? I'm better at it already. And because this braid here, is that what it is? Braid is already dry, it's not going to come off. So I'm going to go back and clean up my stencil. Just using that wet baby wipe. Being gentle, like I said, because these are not very thick stencils. And I'm going to get rid of that. Okay, now I think I'm done with my stencil. So I'm going to go ahead and set that aside. And I'm going to let this dry. And I'm going to put away my paste, put my palette knife in the water and let it soak off that modeling paste. Okay, I'm going to let this dry and I'm going to be back. Couple minutes. Okay, I'm back. Everything is dry. And now we're going to use some of this Allegro paint. And the green color is Fresh Cut Lawn, I think maybe is what it is. And I'm just going to use a piece of packaging as my palette. I do that a lot just so I can recycle, and then I just roll it up and throw it away. So everything is dry, like I said. I'm going to use the green paint, and we're going to go for it here. I'm going to use this brush that I have been using. It isn't very good though, so why am I using it? I have several brushes that are much better. So this one is better. And what we're going to do is go all over. All over the piece with our green paint. I know what you're thinking. Ah, what did you do? I know, I'm thinking the same thing. Don't worry. And before this gets totally dry, we're going to wipe it off. And it's drying quite quickly for me here because of the lights. And actually I have windows open and the breeze is coming in. So I'm going to quickly go to my baby wipe. And we're just wiping back. You don't want to wipe it all, but I do want to keep that green hue underneath. And if we wipe too much off, guess what? We can go ahead. I'm going to dry that baby wipe off a little bit. We can go ahead and add more. But I do want that green underneath showing through. And I feel like I took off too much here, so I'm going to add some more. It's okay. You know, this is water soluble. Oh, we can just add some water to it if we want to. I just feel like I wanted some. Maybe in the corners a little bit. That's where I like it. It's going to be different for you. Depends on where you like it. See how this is wrinkled here? Now look how cool that is, the texture. And I'm just kind of drying my baby wipe off a little bit. I don't want it too wet. Okay. That's how I like it. Maybe a little here. Okay, that's how mine looks. Can you see that? That's how I like it. I'm going to dry this, clean up my area. I'm just going to fold this over the green paint so that we can use another color there. Okay, and it won't take much to dry this. I like that green on the white. Take a little bit more off my birds. Okay, we're dry. Now we're going to get some, you can use Vaseline, it's 99 cents at the dollar store, or I have some chapstick that I bought and I absolutely hate it. So I'm going to use this up. It smells really good. It just dries out my lips a lot. So I'm going to use that. And I'm just using it on my finger. And we're creating a resist. Giving it some texture. And this is another technique, you know, that we're going to practice. So I like it there. And this is how Antonio showed me how to do it. And we liked it in the corners. Now let's look at our example. We did some in the middle here too. So, however you like it. That's how I like it. Actually, I want this to have some. Okay, that's how I like it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out. So I'm going to go ahead. Just going to use this clip. Use my packaging. And then we're going to use our blue paint. See how you can see the green under here and then the blue over the top. And we're going to cover the whole thing. Okay. Putting my blue paint down. I'm going to use my same brush. Clean it off. Clean the paint off. Give it a little bit of a dry. And here we go. Don't be afraid. Just do it. Covering the whole thing. Covering it all. Okay. Don't be afraid. If I can do it, you can do it. Because we're doing it together, right? Okay. It smells nice and pepperminty because of the chapstick. I'm going to give it a dry. I'm going to get a fresh baby wipe out while I'm giving this a dry. And I think now I can close it up. And that shows me that I want to put a little more paint there on the edge. In case I don't get to the back, it doesn't look unfinished. So since I have more paint here, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Right? There we go. Okay. I'd say it's dry. It's pretty quick. Get this out of the way. And now I'm giving this baby wipe a little wring out again because they're a little wet. I don't want it totally wet. I want to leave some of the paint there, and we're just gonna go ahead and start working it off. Now look at where the chapstick was. It left the resist. And I think I want to keep the wiping all vertical. Yeah, we don't want to go this way and this way. We want it all to be, vertical, one direction. I think it will mess it up if we go the other way, but And it takes a little bit of time, but that's okay. This is your project, right? This is your art. And when you have it, see here, it's a little cloudy there. I'm going to get a new baby wipe or use a different spot. Use a clean spot. Getting it off those wings of the bird. See? Neat, huh? And you can see the green underneath. I think that's cool. I think it's really neat. It's coming along. Okay. Now, next step is our vintage paste. Now you know what this is. This is burnt umber oil-based paint. Because we can't get the vintage paste yet. And we want to use our boar's hair brush. And I have my mineral spirits set aside if we want to use them. And I say we probably do want to use them. I'm going to fold my blue paint over, and I'm going to use this portion of my recycled plastic. I'm going to add a blob, and it doesn't take much. This will probably last me a long time. And I'm going to go ahead and cover the whole bit. And if I wanted to add a little bit of mineral spirits, if I could get it open, I would do that. And what you're doing is just thinning down that paint so that you can make your product last longer. And you're going in the crevices, just like we did in class 1. We're going to go all over the project. Okay. How are we doing? All right? And that tiny little bit of oil-based paint got everything covered. All right? I'm going to rinse my brush out. Clean it on some paper towel. Cover this up so I don't spill it. And now, get this out of the way. I'm going to use my dry paper towel, and we're going to wipe it. And this is what antiques it. Yay, huh? Isn't that so cool? I think it is. You want the blue to be bluer? You just keep wiping. I think that is so cool. I really do. You want the white to be whiter? Just keep wiping it off. I love the green and the blue and the brown and white together. Very tropical, nautical, if you would. All right. Now this oil base paint is going to take a while to dry. Okay, so I'm not really sure if we should stencil on it today. I say we're going to stencil on it tomorrow. Okay, so I think I might actually do my back of my book, and then I'll let it dry overnight, and then we'll have it all ready to go tomorrow. So I'm going to do my back with my modeling paste and my paint and my colors, and that way I can show you that tomorrow. Well, it'll be the same video, but all right. So we'll do the stenciling last, and then our project will be complete. Be right back. Okay, here's what we've got. I really love the cover, and I really love the back. So, note to self, I'm thinking as I practice new techniques and things, I may start on the back of a cover and do the front last. You know, just a thought for the future. So now we're going to do our stenciling, and these are the two stencils that I'm going to use from Sean Petit, and you can use whatever you have. That's why I didn't include it in the kit, because I know you have stencils. I know you have things. You just have to use that creativity in your mind, and you'll come up with something absolutely wonderful. I am sure of it. You need a archival ink, and we're using that because it's permanent. And I did include the brush that I like to use. These are just really inexpensive brushes that I get from the dollar store, so super affordable for everyone. Now this one I'm going to put Find Your True North, and I'm going to put that right on the front of my cover. And I think it's important not to go bam right in the front, but I am going on this blue portion and part of the brown, so that it just adds another little element on there. And I'm just using it in a circular motion, holding it tightly with my hand here. And you want to pick up and be very careful not to smudge this, because you know you have that oil-based paint on the top of your journal, and you wouldn't want to smudge. See, that's very wet, so you want to be very careful not to smudge that now. I'm actually going to give it a dry because I don't want to smudge it. And then I'm going to use the other stencil. Look how fast that dried. It's archival ink, so of course it's super fast to dry. And then I'm going to use the other stencil, the postage stencil, because I thought that would be cool for the sea world, sea land, you know, going traveling, going to the ocean. And then you just have to decide where you want it and which ones. I'm going to go off the corner with this one. So that the eye travels off the corner of the piece. I go in circular motion with my brush. You do what works best for you. I'm going to lift it up quickly. Be careful not to smudge it. I am going to dry. So you've got this so beautiful right now. You don't want to go ahead and smear it at the end. And it dries really fast. Get it a little dry from behind. And then I'm going to add just this little one because it seems like it should just nestle right into this bigger one. At least that's what it seems like to me. There we go. Pick it up quick. Yeah, I like that. See there? It looks like your piece has been stamped by the post office. Okay, so now that since this is the front, I want to create that visual triangle. And I feel like I just need something down here. And I will think maybe this airmail one here will be cool. And I'm actually thinking I'm going to pull it all the way to the back. Just, it kind of, you know, pulls the front and back together. So, just do what you think is right. We can always fix it if we have to, but right now I really don't want to be fixing too much. I want to be finishing. Giving it a dry. Neat, neat, neat. I like it. Okay, so we're going to fold this very carefully and go to the back now. And I really love this one with London on it. And I'm going to just do the one down in the corner. At least that's what I think. I'm going to hold it down carefully. It's a big one, big stencil portion here. So we had quite a few techniques here with this project. Let's see, we're working with stone paper. We had those aqua colors. So that was one technique, right? I'm going to give that a dry. So then we had the modeling paste. That's another technique. So 2. And then we're using the resist with the paint and the baby wipes. So that's 3. And then we're using the resist with our Vaseline. So we could maybe count that as 4 techniques. And then this oil-based paint as the vintage paste over the top of it all could be 5. And then our final stenciling with our stencil brush would be finishing it up. Maybe that would be six different techniques that we had. I just can't leave this alone, so of course I'm going to overlap this one more stamp to the bottom. Give that a quick dry, and I think I can call this done. I don't want to mess with it anymore because I like it just the way it is. Going to clean up my area a bit here, and we will get our final project a look here. Let's see. I'll put it down on a clean area. Let's get rid of this. Give some contrasting color here. And we have, now this is bothering me now that I'm looking at it. I feel that we need to take a micron pen. This is just a permanent archival pen. It's called a micron, pigment micron pen. And this is an old one. There's all different sizes. But I'm going to connect these letters here. You see how they're not connected because of the stencil? I'm going to go ahead and connect them. There. That looks much better. Okay, see how I just filled those in? Okay, those little details. Little details, yes. Alright, so here was the first one. And the second one. This one has a little more green to it, which I don't mind. I actually quite like it. And of course we have different elements. We have the bigger sailboat. And yeah, I really like them. I hope you do too. I hope you liked your project. Project number 3 is going to be using the Sea Land pattern paper, which is absolutely amazing. If you haven't seen it, I'll give it a quick little flip through. These are going to be great for cards. I haven't decided what we're going to do yet, but I think it's going to have something to do with seashells, and we're going to I just don't know. I got to sleep on it. So I'll be working on that. Here's how my 2 pieces turned out. I hope you had fun, and I will look forward to seeing your comments. All right, thank you. It was fun.